What's up, guys? Hope you're having a good Friday. Welcome back to the 1966 Chevrolet C10 pickup truck build. I'm trying to get the truck ready on the road for next summer, and I've been in the weeds with bodywork. There's still a few things that need to happen before I can prime the whole cab. The main thing being the dash. There's some miscellaneous dents in the cab I need to either pull out or use some body filler on. And then also, I actually found a little bit of blue paint from the previous cab. That needs to get gone. So after all those things happen, it's finally going to be prime time. So if you enjoyed the last truck update and you want them to keep coming, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. All right, I'm gonna start on the dash. Got a little bit of sanding, some priming, a little bit of welding to do. I'm gonna go ahead and grind down some of this weld here. As you know, in the last episode, I welded in a patch panel for this hole that used to be in the dash. There's a seam though, and the patch panel didn't have the same seam. After the fact, Ike was like, dude, you should have gone to the junkyard and cut out the exact same hole in the dash from one of my junk trucks, but it's too late now, it was already welded in. So I built up this area with weld to kind of make it look like it has a seam there, and so now I just need to go back and grind it down, and then I need to add some weld, grind it down, maybe a little bit of body filler, and with a little bit of luck, it'll look factory. So all the welding for this piece is done, and I have the first coat of Bondo applied, and you can kind of see the direction it's headed. It's starting to look a little bit smooth. It still has some pits. I just need another coat of Bondo there, and once I get this side nice and smooth, I can move over to this side, and then I'm going to need some Bondo on this area as well. But that's done. The paint's dry here, and I'll just need to go over that with some finer sandpaper till I know if I need more body filler there. But it's starting to come together. While I let that bodywork dry, I moved on to the top of the dash. Now, up until this point, my efforts on the top of the dash went terribly. Every time I did a swipe of bodywork and sanded it down, it was still uneven. So I decided to employ an old trick Ike taught me about, and that's to take a can of black spray paint and speckle over the area that you're doing bodywork in. After hitting the surface with a dusting of spray paint, take your block sander and go back and forth, diagonal and up and down, and it should reveal where your high and low spots are. In the areas where you see the speckle paint disappear, that means you have a high spot. But if the speckle paint is still around even after sanding, that means you have a low spot. So I remember before I filled these in, the holes where the bolts were in were actually like, they were all distorted, and I'm guessing that just pulled and twisted all the metal around it and made the whole surface uneven. So now I'm going to show you the part of the dash where the 3-inch hole was cut out of it. I'm a little bit self-conscious about it because I had to use a little bit of ingenuity that probably deviates from the traditional way of fixing something like that, but I think it's coming along okay. So this is what it looks like right now. This is with 2 rounds of body filler, 2 rounds of sanding. I know I have some low spots here. I know this ridge isn't perfect at all. Not sure what I'm going to do about that. Maybe like wrap a piece of sandpaper around a pencil to get that ridge nice and sharp. But it's coming along. You can see it has promise. And that front section where there was a 3-inch hole is actually looking really, really good. I'd say it's maybe 85% of the way there. The dash is also almost completely smooth with my body filler. Need to add a little bit more, and then I can prime it. We've been talking about, Ike's holding the camera for me, we've been talking about what to do as far as body panels, so I need to show you guys what's going on with the body panel situation. So looking at all these parts for the first time in like 4 years, I was like, all right, these aren't as bad as I remember. But after doing a little bit more research and talking to Ike and stuff, I found out that almost all of them are going to have to be replaced. It's just not worth the amount of time and effort that's going to go into it. Like this front radiator support brace. Doesn't look that bad, right? It has some holes here, you know, but I just figured why not just get some angle iron, weld it up. And then Ike informed me that this is actually the only thing that's really holding the whole front clip of the truck on, and I can get a new one for like $180, $200 shipped. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And kind of same goes for almost everything else in this pile, which sucks, but it is what it is. This fuel tank is gonna be reusable. It doesn't have any holes in it. It just needs to be cleaned out. It doesn't even have water in it. We need to take it inside, by the way. But the front fenders are in bad shape. We have bubbly rust here. There are cracks and splits along the seams. There's just cancerous, scaly rust in it. I think I'm just gonna get new front fenders. Same goes for the rear fenders here. This one is real bad. You have the same splits along the seams, but the really bad spot is over here. So at some point, someone did some quick and dirty body work on this thing. They just smeared body filler on top of a hole. So there's not even any metal there. It's just body filler. Same goes for that front fender. The bed doesn't seem to be in terrible shape. It can probably be repaired, but I'm gonna price out what I can get a new one for. And that's gonna lead me into all of the research I have done to try to see if it would be worth it to try to buy used parts or to get reproduction parts. There seems to be a lot of misinformation out there. There's no general consensus. You know, you just hear here and there on the internet that reproduction parts will never fit, but there seem to be a few brands that that work better than others. So I think I'm gonna go with that and try to get at least a brand new bed. I need a whole body for this thing pretty much. The hood may be salvageable, but I'm gonna need a bed, the steps, the rear fenders, front fenders, doors. I'm gonna need a whole truck pretty much. And it may not look that bad through the camera, but it's gonna require hours and hours and hours. And like, you know, you gotta look at it as like, would you rather pay $400 for a new rear fender, or would you rather have 15 hours, 20 hours in a rear fender? I don't know the exact number, but like that's how I try to look at these things. And for me, it looks like it's gonna be more worth it to buy reproduction parts as long as they'll go together like a Lego kit, and I won't have to do any trimming and, you know, and cutting and welding and stuff like that. So I'm gonna roll the dice on that one. So now you know that I'm thinking about replacing all of the panels on the body truck with reproduction panels. I would love to hear your thoughts. What's your experience with aftermarket body panels? I know they do get a bad rap, but from what I've found and who I've talked to already, some of the better ones only need a little bit of massaging to get them to fit properly, and I'd rather do an hour of massaging rather than 10 hours per body panel of rust repair. Off camera, Ike and I drilled some holes in the floor of the cab to mount the front of the cab to the chassis. This is a 1965 cab and a 66 chassis, and where the cab mounts to the front of the frame is different. 65 versus 66. I didn't know that, not a big deal. We drilled holes and that's ready to go. We also removed the fire truck pedal box that's on the floor over there, and we're gonna put that pedal box in it and actually have a couple of those holes in the firewall to fill in to bolt in that pedal box. This upcoming week, I'm planning on ordering a wiring harness and some body parts, unless all you guys are like, don't do that. But you gotta remember, we live in North Carolina. It is humid, it is wet here almost year-round, so all the old trucks from the 60s and even 70s and some of the 80s and 90s trucks, like, they are just rusted beyond repair. Unless they have been well taken care of their whole life, like these 60s trucks are gone. And I just can't go all the way to Arizona or Nevada or a drier climate for a rust-free body. And then finally, in the last video, I noticed you guys were saying you can't put body filler over primer. I did some research, and it seems to be gray area. There are concerns about the body filler lifting off of primer, like the primer is too smooth of a surface to apply body filler to. But I just want to say that every time I have applied Bondo to primer, I've roughed up the primer with some like 100 or 120 grit sandpaper for better adhesion. That being said, from here on out, every time I need to use body filler, I will strip it down to bare metal. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video today, guys, leave me a thumbs up. It is greatly appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if you want to support us in what we do, pick up one of our stickers or t-shirts at CarsandCameras.com and let me know your personal experience with reproduction body panels. Are they good? Are they not good? We'll see you Monday for another go-kart video, and I'll see you not next Friday, but the Friday after that for the next C10 update. Thanks for watching. See you next time.